Hello everyone, my name is Marcelo Palermo and this is another edition of Epic News. Well, that time has come. Close, very close to election day, to November the 3rd, 2020, when we have to risk some results based upon analysis and studies and of course the use of critical thinking. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself and presidential elections or elections in general or political results, not only here in the United States of America, but all over the world. For over 23 years, I've been dedicated to analyze and write and report about international conflict, politics, and socio-economical situations in different parts or from different parts of the world. So the United States elections have been something that I've always followed very close, and well, the fact is I have never missed or I have never got a result wrong ever since the 2000 elections, the Florida elections, when George W. Bush and George Bush Jr., the son, got the presidential nomination and eventually became the president of the United States by a very controversial decision that happened in the end. Then, as I was saying, Florida. Then I predicted Barack Obama victory. That was Barack Obama's victory. And actually in 2004, when he was the key speaker to open, or the opening speaker of the Democratic Party convention, I predicted that he will be probably, and then I was very firm in my prediction, the next nominee or the next candidate that will run for president of the United States of America, referred to him as Mr. Obama, the senator from Chicago, Illinois. And indeed he did. And then when he won the Democratic primaries in 2008, I predicted that he will become the next president too, and sure he did. Then there was a 2016 very controversial and very boiled up elections eventually came down to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Everything indicated that Hillary Clinton could not lose that election, but facts and things started to play into the whole thing. Things got tainted, things got weird and crazy, and a week before election day, I was already saying that there was a severe possibility that Mr. Donald Trump will clinch that election and will become the next president of the United States of America. Well, I'm telling you, when I was reporting about the whole electoral process, during election day, November 2016, I remember that I actually got lots of calls and emails and tweets, though I don't use Twitter that much, and Facebook messages, asking me if I was sure about what I was talking about. Eventually, it came out to light, and the results were that the one who clinched it, the 270 commissioners that he needed in the Electoral College, was Mr. Donald Trump. That happened, and I was indicating that things were turning around really fast. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump got 7 states that it seemed that he wouldn't get them. That would include Florida and Arizona, but eventually he did. States that during times of polling and asking people, it was quasi-improbable that they will swing towards Mr. Trump, but eventually happened. One factor was the Hillary emails and the Comey investigation. Well, things didn't end well between Comey and Trump eventually, but that investigation conducted by the FBI and eventually everything being dropped and dismissed, still seeded all kinds of suspicions among voters, especially undecided voters. And another factor were the very angry Bernie Sanders voters who, they saw that unfortunately for them, their candidate was not to be the presidential candidate. It was something that they thought was Bernie's last chance. Then Bernie did it again, went all the way toe-to-toe to dispute the Democratic nomination with Joe Biden. Actually this year in 2020. And that also didn't happen for Bernie. Well, now we have Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I'm telling you one thing. I am predicting a 50-50 this time, and this is why. Although all mathematical predictions right now indicate that Joe Biden has around a 65 to 68% chances of winning the election, and Trump will make it all in between 30 to 33%, and although the polls are all indicating that Mr. Biden should clinch these elections without much trouble, well, guess what? There's trouble on the way, as A Bad Moon Rising, the song from Creedence Clearwater Revival, indicated many decades ago. I see a bad moon rising, and I see trouble on the way for the Biden campaign, and that trouble comes in the name of Hunter Biden, the very son of Mr. Joe Biden. As we all know by now, there were things that are yet to be clarified regarding contracts between Mr. Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, and Burisma, a state company from oil state company from Ukraine. In the same way, there was another contract with a Chinese government-ruled company. Both things could turn into Mr. Joe Biden's 2020 Hillary Clinton's email scandal all over again. As a matter of fact, the Trump campaign, seeing that polls and projections are not giving him many chances, they were surely exploit this Hunter Biden situation. Hunter Biden seems to be the Achilles heel of the Joe Biden Kamala Harris campaign, and it can get complicated, and you can be sure that the Trump campaign will try everything possible within the parameters of how to project an electoral fight, and we know how things go nowadays, in order to see if they can actually expose and put that case on the spotlight. One of the things is that you see that part of the media are not actually picking the story up quite a lot, or just going through it. But of course, the media that it's for Trump is going to be to Trump all the way from here to November the 3rd. Early elections, early voting actually started and are on the way. I am going to post along this one another video of me voting in early elections in a place here in Southwest Texas. Things went very smooth and expedite. And really, it's very interesting how in some cities, in some places, things are actually going perfectly well, or at least properly well, and in many other places, shameful thing is happening. People are actually waiting in lines for about 2, 3, 4, even 5 hours, and even more, as it has been reported, which is something absolutely preposterous. And you think that in a country such as the United States of America, that could not happen. It doesn't happen anymore in many countries that came from the state of banana republics and turned into democratic countries and are still in the process of healing their institutions and the democratic processes and systems. And to have it happening here in different places in our country, it's literally preposterous, something that we can really be ashamed about. Well, not in South Texas, here in El Paso, Texas, where I'm located and where I vote. Things ran smoothly, at least when I went to vote early, and as voting officials and workers and volunteers indicated me, things were running smoothly. So here's my prediction regarding the presidential election. If things go the way they go with the polls, and as the voters go to the polls, and if more voters actually vote early instead of voting on November the 3rd, chances are Mr. Biden will win this election. But if in the next 2 weeks, the Trump campaign makes it happen. It makes it happen to make the Hunter Biden issue a case for people to be aware of, and they actually get to be aware of, and it raises doubts all over. Things can turn around like this. This is something that we have to be very aware of, and lots of people are not. It is a 50-50 thing right now, and I want to keep it that way despite the mathematical projections and the polls and everything. Why? Just because of one very important factor in the Biden campaign, the Hunter Biden factor. If the Trump campaign is successful at beating the drums of the Hunter Biden, Ukraine and China cases, and if they raise doubts to a point where people who are still undecided, and I know that there are many out there who are still trying to figure out who they're going to vote for, well, things can turn like this. Now, the Biden campaign could not see this coming weeks pass fast enough, or get by fast enough, because the faster they get, the faster they actually get to their final goal, which is to put Mr. Joe Biden in the White House along with Mrs. Kamala Harris as Vice President. That is what could happen, but yet we have two very heavily loaded of content and of course campaign to get through yet. For Epic News, this is Marcelo Palermo. Remember to check our videos on our page, Epic News. We're here with you, we're here for you, and we're here by you. Thank you very much. You all have a great day. Be there because our videos are going to keep on flowing as we approach Election Day. Thank you for watching.